Welcome to Outdoor Outlaws.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Fire. I'm your host, Tim. If you're tuning in for the first time, pull yourself up a log, grab a beverage of your choice, and get comfortable. This is Outdoor Outlaws, where we share real stories from the backcountry, hard-earned lessons, gear that actually works, bushcraft, camping, overlanding, fishing, hunting, and everything that comes with the life lived outdoors. No fluff, just honest conversation, memorable adventures, and the occasional mistake that hopefully saves you from making the same one. Now, if you tuned into my last episode, I left you with a story from my childhood. It was 1979. I was 12 years old. I woke up shivering in a swimming pool inside of my tent while on a school camping trip. Why? Because I rushed my setup. I pitched it in a classic dip in the ground. That miserable night taught me a vital lesson. It's something every bushcrafter, canoe tripper, and car camper needs to keep top of mind. Your comfort in the backcountry is decided early. It happens before you even unpack a single piece of your gear. It's decided by where you choose to set up. Now look, as we go through these tips today, please hear me out. I am absolutely not trying to treat anyone like an idiot. I know we have some highly seasoned woodsmen and women listening to this show right now and could most likely navigate the backcountry blindfolded. But I firmly believe that maintaining a rock-solid understanding of the basics is vital if you are just starting out. And if you've been sleeping under the stars for the last 30 years, well, a solid reminder of the fundamentals never really hurts. Placency in the woods is exactly how we can get injured and or set up in a less than desirable spot. In the outdoor world, there is a classic framework used to evaluate a piece of land before we ever commit to using it for a camp. It's called the 4 W's: wind, water, Widowmakers, and wood. You might be driving your truck up an old logging road, dragging a loaded canoe onto a gravel bar, or setting up a tent in the middle of a state or provincial park. No matter what, you should always run through these 4 W's. Today, we are breaking down exactly how to read the landscape. We want to avoid the invisible traps that turn a beautiful weekend into a cold-soaked survival situation. So let's start with the 2 elements that broke my 12-year-old spirit: wind and water. When you step into a potential campsite, don't look for flat ground first. Look for draining ground. Even a complete flat spot can pool water if the soil is compacted clay or heavily trampled dirt. Pay close attention to the ground underneath you. If you see bunch grass, dried pine needles, or well-drained sandy soil, you're usually pretty safe. If you see willow swales, horsetails, or thick moss, that ground is a sponge, which means that the water table is already at the surface. A 3-hour downpour will turn your tent floor into a waterbed. And if you're older than 35 or 40, you know what a waterbed is. Now let's talk about the wind. The weather can turn on a dime. You'll be sitting there in the afternoon sun, and suddenly you'll feel the back of your neck get cold as the air shifts across the valley or down from the peaks. Before you set up your shelter, check the direction of the wind. Look at the trees and small plants. Once you've determined which way the wind is blowing, try to use natural land features as windbreaks. Think rock bluffs, a dense thicket of brush, or even a ridgeline. If you're using a tarp or an asymmetrical hammock, always pitch the lowest, narrowest corner directly into the prevailing wind. Never present that wide, flat side of your shelter to the gale. If you do, you'll spend your midnight hours chasing your gear through the bush. If you've never seen what a strong wind can do at a camp, just Google it. There are tons of videos out there. This brings us to what we call a widowmaker, the single most dangerous silent threat in the woods. A widowmaker is any dead tree or a massive dead branch hanging precariously up in the canopy right above your head. When a storm rolls through and the wind starts twisting the timber, those branches come down like harpoons. Every time you choose a campsite, stop. Before your pack even touches the dirt, you need to look up and do a 360-degree overhead check. Also, Check standing trees. Are there any dead? Gray, beetle-killed trees leaning nearby. Are there heavy, dead branches dangling like pendulums right above your tent site? If the answer is yes, I don't care how beautiful, flat, or perfect the moss looks, pack up your gear and move 50 meters away. That's 5-0. When you're sitting quiet out in the woods, you're rarely truly alone. If you stay still long enough, you'll usually get paid a visit by small wildlife like squirrels, chipmunks, or even a pine marten. They love using fallen logs as their personal highway system, popping their heads up out of pure curiosity because they smell your coffee or your breakfast. But while small critters are relatively harmless, they're a good reminder that we share the woods with much bigger neighbors like bears, wolves, or even moose. Look at the ground. If you see a heavily beaten game trail leading down to the water, do not pitch your tent next to it. You're setting up a roadblock on their highway. A startled 1,200-pound moose passing through your guy lines at midnight is a recipe for disaster. If you are backcountry camping or canoe tripping, practice the bear triangle. Your sleeping area, your cooking area, and your food storage should form a massive triangle. Position each point at least 60 meters apart from each other. Make sure your tent sits upwind from the kitchen. Keep your sleeping space completely clean. No snacks, no toothpaste. Keep them out of your tent. All right, our final W is wood. If you want a comfortable camp, you need fuel. But a good woodsman knows how to find quality without destroying the scenery. Look for dead, standing trees. Because they are upright, they stay off the damp forest floor and dry out quickly in the wind. If you look at the lower dead branches of an old spruce or pine, you'll find tiny, resin-soaked twigs. They will light with a single spark, even in heavy mist. But remember the core code: absolute respect for the land. If you find a spectacular, untouched piece of wilderness, leave it that way. Don't build a massive fire ring that leaves a permanent black scar on the earth. Use a small, efficient fire or a portable twig stove. When you pack up camp, douse that fire. Keep pouring water on it until you can safely put your bare hands in the ashes. Scatter the rocks and lay the pine needles back over the dirt. Leave it so the next person thinks they're the first human to ever stand there. On the next episode, we're taking this woodcraft knowledge directly into action. We're going to dive deep into firecraft. Specifically, we will cover how to source dry tinder and split down wet logs. I will explain how to get a roaring fire going in the middle of a relentless 3-day downpour. And remember, I want to hear from all you guys. Have you ever made a catastrophic campsite selection mistake? What's the worst spot you've ever pitched a tent? Send your stories to my email at outdooroutlawspod, that's P-O-D, @gmail.com, or leave a comment below, or wherever you're listening to me from. Just leave a comment and I'm sure I'll be able to get back to it. So I want to read the most brutal, funny mistakes right here on air so we can learn from them. Until next time, pack your gear, respect the trail, and I'll see you out in the woods. Thanks for popping in.